Help fight Islamic terrorism. Visit www.americansagainst.hate.org.
Joe has been responsible for the closure of at least one terror-related charity organization and has convinced a number of government officials to shun the Hamas-front group called CARE. In June 2009, he won a lawsuit brought against him by 7 Dallas area radical Muslim organizations. My friend, my dear friend, and a great leader today, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Joe Kaufman.
It is great to see all of you at an event such as this, because it shows that you understand that the threat of terrorism is real. If it began and ended with 9/11, we could get up out of our seats right now and leave. Of course, we know that is not the case. Since that horrific day, there have been a series of major attacks around the globe, and recent events have proven that the threat continues. The Fort Hood massacre, perpetrated by Nidal Malik Hassan, which took the lives of 13 of our nation's servicemen. The underwear bomber, Omar Farouk Abdul-Muttalab, who threatened to blow up a U.S. airliner. And Faisal Shahzad, who attempted to detonate a bomb in New York's Times Square last month. All of these are evidence of a new wave of terrorism, except now, instead of the inspiration being from that of Osama bin Laden, they have been inspired by a new face of terror, Anwar Nasser al-Awlaki. Al-Awlaki is certainly a problem for the United States. Number one, he was born here. And second, while he was here, he had a huge following. Al-Awlaki's charismatic manner, not unlike bin Laden, won him many accolades in the American Muslim community. Tapes of his lectures are still widely circulated, as he is still widely revered. This reverence we all need to worry about, because only God knows how many Muslim youth al-Awlaki has infected. In May 2007, a poll conducted by the Pew Research Center determined that a quarter of all Muslim Americans aged 18 to 29 believed in the legitimacy of suicide bombings. Combine that with the fact that Anwar al-Awlaki has called for American Muslims to attack their fellow Americans, and you have a potent mixture waiting to explode. It is this brand of violence that our group, Americans Against Hate, wishes to expose, and I am proud to say that we have done a very good job of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had an unbelievable panel today here. And now, what everybody's been waiting for, a moment for someone spectacular, an honor to an award to be honored for someone special, a gift dedicated and saved for an outstanding accomplishment that a person creates. That's what an award's for. This person has to meet special qualifications to receive this kind of award. As a hostess of WFTL Talk Radio, 8:50 a.m. Did I say it right? 8:50 a.m. or 8:50? Okay. 8:50 a.m. She always stands on the wall for justice at every level. This proud American pushes and motivates people everywhere, including myself. Tirelessly works hard, goes to rallies, speaks her mind freely, anytime, anywhere, at any moment of the night. Joyce Kaufman, you are being honored and awarded today the annual American Hero Award by American Against Hate. And Joe, founder of AAH, Americans Against Hate, will award you the award. Joyce.
I remember speaking to Joyce Kaufman on the radio more than like 15 years ago. Back then, she was co-hosting her show with a guy named Al Rantel. While her political bent has changed slightly, more than slightly, you could tell even back then that she had a fire waiting to burst out. Today, she is that firebrand that so many love to listen to, and she is our hero. It is my honor to present this award, our Americans Against Hate Hero Award, to Joyce Kaufman.
That's a pretty large honor, and I love you, Joe. I thank Americans Against Hate, and of course I thank you. But when Joe, no relation Kaufman, said earlier on that we should thank Barbara Boxer for rebuking CARE, or Mayor Pam Maioria from Tampa for finally canceling Who Could Care Less Day, and apparently around here, you get an award just for doing the right thing. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm very honored for doing the moral thing. While I always appreciate recognition for my efforts, I want to make one thing very clear. Like the Hebrew National hot dog, I answer to a higher authority. The real heroes are the men like Joe Kaufman, the women like Danita, like Bob Kunst, like Jack, like Elmer, like Barbara and Murray, like Julie, the people who are sitting out in this audience who, at great personal sacrifice and risk of alienating all their friends and families and Democratic neighbors in Broward and Palm Beach County, they come out and they support the efforts that Joe and I and others like us are continuously spearheading. And I thank them, because if it were not for them, many of the days when I wake up totally disheartened, like Monday morning after Sunday's pathetic rally, a gathering where people talked about, where people were dancing the horror, instead of deciding how it was they could fight back against an enemy that wants it dead. If it weren't for you, I couldn't do it anymore. There are days I wake up and I don't know if I can do it. And after all, I'm only now getting sued by CARE. You know, Joe is a trailblazer. Of course, albeit I'm getting sued twice and suing them all in 1 year. But these are the things, these are the battles that take place, the lawfare, the nonsense, the character assassination, the threats against my personal safety. Those kinds of things sort of pale in significance to what awaits us. Because in my hypothetical, you know, and I certainly don't know as much as Mr. Loftus does, and I certainly haven't been on the front lines like Bill West, and I certainly haven't suffered at the hands of a husband who would actually think nothing of destroying our family and my children. And certainly I have not suffered the most outrageous loss no parent should ever have to bury their child that Mr. Tuly has had to do. So for me, it's a very small thing that I do. Every single day I wake up and I ask myself, what is my enemy thinking today? How can I dissuade them from doing what they want so desperately to do, which is to destroy the nation of Israel, to destroy Western civilization, and to undo the most beautiful experiment ever created, a republic, which after 233 plus years has proven that freedom, the pursuit of happiness, not the guarantee of happiness, and liberty will prevail.
Help fight Islamic terrorism. Visit www.americansagainst.hate.org.